plans. Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city that need me is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond. Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn. Turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed. Need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick. Gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. IC they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
Giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
It's a border battle here tonight as Whiteford, the Bobcats of Michigan, travel into Cub country to take on the Lucas Cubs. Playoff points up for grabs. Both teams trying to improve their playoff resumes. We'll have it for you here live and free on the OH.Report.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
Let's go.
Bob Winefield here, Andy Jardy alongside Jeremy Peoples, and our 89 Homes pregame show as we've got a doozy of a ball game on tap here for you tonight. This is quite the matchup between the Whiteford Bobcats and the Lucas Cubs. Playoff points up for grabs. Lucas, number 12 in D7, Region 25. They're a potential to move up here with a win, possibly host a home game next week. With a loss, though, could miss out on the playoffs as well, too. So a lot at stake for both these teams. Whiteford coming in here out of Michigan, making the over 2-hour trek here. This is the first meeting between these two teams, and this is a very impressive resume for the Whiteford Bobcats under head coach Todd Thyken in his third season. Jeremy, he's just 31-5. That's a pretty solid resume there.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
I don't know much about Michigan football, but I tell you what, that's a pretty darn good record coming down in here to Lucas and try to challenge that.
Yeah, they are the two-time state champs of Michigan, 2017 and 2022, and they were the state runner-up last season. As we get set here for kickoff. Take a look real quick while we can as they get set for the kickoff. I'm talking a little bit about that team spotlight here of the Whiteford Bobcats. Formerly of the Tri-County Conference, they are still looking, I believe they will be joining the Toledo Area Athletic Conference next season. That is actually the conference my alma mater is leaving, Northwood. But yeah, two-time state champs, made the playoffs the last 12 seasons. And you want to talk about traveling, they've done it this year, over 600 miles to play games this season. So they are a well-traveled team, and they will look to their wing-back, Trent Eatonere, the senior. He had 92 rushing yards, a touchdown last week, and a big win at White Pigeon, who was previously undefeated. So this team here from Whiteford looking to come in, get back above 500, and try and make the playoffs now for 13 straight seasons.
Yeah, pretty good team coming in, it sounds like. They got a good coaching staff. They got a couple pretty good athletes on their team, and I'm looking for this to be a pretty good game here. Lucas is going to come out with their hair on fire, I think.
Yeah, that'll be one of the interesting things to see is how Whiteford. We saw this a couple weeks ago. We were here for that North Central game where they had to travel almost 2 hours. How does energy come into play here early on? I mean, it's a long trip.
It is. It's a long trip, and I never traveled like
Cubs
that
will start
for football,
first and 10 from their own 29-yard line.
I was a wrestler, and you go to where the wrestling tournaments are, and sometimes you do got to travel a pretty good way. And I know you're not getting up in the morning to go to a football game like you do a wrestling tournament, but I got to think that long bus ride definitely would play a part.
Apologies on the scoreboard. Seem to be having issues getting that up and running, so we will try and get that worked on throughout the game here as the Cubs will start on offense here, and nowhere to go on that first carry there for the Cubs. Going to be a loss of 2 to be second down and 12. That's going to be one of the things for these Bobcats here. You got to force these Cubs into some second and third and longs here because the Cubs like to run it. We've seen them throw the ball this year a little bit more than we're used to.
Yeah, but you're right. Lucas is a team. If you can keep them behind the sticks, you're probably going to have some success on the defensive side there.
Handoff here again, and once again, the Bobcats all over it.
Brady Giegold again on the carry.
Brady Giegold, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I've seen this before, Andy. Sometimes Lucas comes out and they kind of keep the back pages of the playbook hidden a little bit early in the game. They don't want to give away too much, it seems like. So you might see some of these maybe short or runs or maybe runs for losses. And I do expect them to get it going as the game goes on.
Andy Trejo in on the tackle. And brought down, and that is going to be a penalty.
Penalty flags down.
Bobby Grover. This is going to be for a face mask or a horse collar here.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be a face mask. Yeah. Looked like he just got a little bit high.
Face mask penalty on Whiteford.
So that is a huge penalty here to keep the drive alive.
Kind of reminiscent of that late game play last night in that Thursday night game.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't comment on that.
No.
I saw some stuff from the NFL this morning. They said that they're going to look at reviewing face mask penalties next season. So maybe that's on the horizon.
We've got a timeout here.
Going to be some discussion about the spot here.
Yeah, it is 3rd and 4 is what they currently have. I was under the impression that the face mask was an automatic first down, the personal foul variety, no?
I think you're right about that, and even that notwithstanding, from where they were at, where Bobby was rolling out, he really wasn't that deep, so I don't think they had 15 to go there.
Yeah, it was 3rd and I think about 13, 14. It was 2nd and 12, and then they gained maybe nothing or lost a yard on the next carry. But I guess is it a spot foul from where the penalty occurred? Because that would make it 3rd and short. I guess I just assumed the personal foul was automatic first down.
I thought it was a first down as well. We'll have to wait and see here.
Learning something new every week.
Hey, it's a good day if you learn something new.
Absolutely.
Looks like the discussion might have been about laterally where to position the ball.
So they're going to put 10:40 back on the clock. Again, apologies about the scoreboard. Can't seem to get this to come up here the way that it's supposed to. So they're still discussing this here.
looks like the one official standing where the face mask was called. And if that's the case, that would put him right about on the 40.
Yeah, he is standing at the 25. Boy, this is one of the most bizarre starts I've ever seen to a game. Yeah, they cannot seem to agree on what they want this to be. This is a big play, too. I mean, this is a third and... It's either going to be 3rd and 3 or what we thought would be 1st and 10 with the personal foul.
Yeah, and really fortuitous after those first couple plays from scrimmage there, Andy.
Yeah.
You know, the runs for loss and then the face mask. I mean, boy, these officials, they're catching it from every angle right now. I'm sure the coaches aren't happy with them.
Yeah, no one's happy. I think now they're going to move it up the extra yards, and hey, there you go. It's a first down now for the Lucas Cubs.
Makes a little sense.
What a bizarre start to this game. Boy, that like took the energy out of the game immediately.
Really
That's
be interesting to see how Whiteford responds to
First down, Cubs.
yeah. So far, so good. The penalty obviously giving the Cubs the first down as Cubbies will go to the ground here, and almost a breakthrough from Tim Daly. He had a seam, got to it. It's a nice pickup, though, on first down.
Yeah, he's a good one, Andy. I really like Tim Daly. He's got a great running style. You'll see him. He's nice and patient, but he's not afraid to lower those pads and bring the boom.
Second down and 2. Shuffling his feet. He's got enough for another Cubs first down. Penalty flag comes in.
It's looking like that one's going to go against the Cubs.
Mason DeBar on the stop.
So 2 big penalties by each team here. What would have been a first down is going to be a hold here.
He is holding on the Cubs.
That'll back them up into their own territory on the other side of the 50, just a little bit past it at the 48. 9:56 to go here in this opening quarter.
So you saw those last 2 plays, Andy. The first of the last 2 plays, they kind of went through that inside gap a little bit on the short toss. And this last one looked like they were working a little more to the outside with Daly.
Here's another toss and getting through and getting enough for a Cubs first down. Dan Hawkinsmith picks up the Cubs first down.
For a Cub first down.
One of my favorite players in the state to watch, Andy. That guy runs with some absolute intensity.
Yeah, Coach Sweat
Here on the stop.
saying he is the epitome of what Lucas football is. Hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got enough for a Cubs first down. 9:30 and counting here to go in this first quarter. And here's another pitch in the backfield, and another penalty flag comes in right at the line of scrimmage.
Penalty flags down.
Yeah, chop block is going to be the call here against Lucas. Had a sneaking suspicion that was going to be the call there where they threw it.
And I'm not sure who they got on that, Andy,
Shot
but
block on the
I did
Cubs.
see a little bit of a conversation between an official and Zach Winters. Boy, these penalties are really killing Lucas's momentum here.
Yeah, they just had the big run to get the first down, and now, yeah, they 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They're looking at 1st and 25 here now. Still scoreless. This is the opening drive. Just over 9 minutes to go here, clock running. Again, we're having some issues with our scoreboard, so I'll be turning into radio here quite a bit, giving you time, score, and down and distance here as this run goes for a few.
Tim Daly on the carry.
By Tim Daly.
Yeah, just
Wrapped up
not
by
much
Andy
there.
Trejo.
Number 8 there for Whiteford made a pretty good in-space play, and that's all you can ask. Second down now. Lucas has got to
Second
get
down,
a good
24
chunky
for the
yards,
Cubs from their own
not leave themselves
39-yard
a
line.
third and really long.
This might be a spot where we see them throw. They might not wait to do it on third down here, but we'll see.
I think you might be right about that.
I feel like if there's a time to do it, it might be on this down, but once again, they're all bunched in back there, and they are going to throw. Grover rolling out, trying to look downfield. Nobody open. Bobcats all over it, ready for it. Going to bring up 3rd and a mile here for the Cubs.
Nolan Walker
Pretty
on
well
the stop.
blocked by Lucas's front line on that
That's
one.
going to bring
Bobby
up
got
3rd
outside
down
of the
for the
pocket,
Cubs
and
from their own
problem
44-yard
was he
line.
just didn't have anybody to get the ball to. We're going to call it a 3rd and 24. Well, I'm not sure if you see Lucas throw and risk a pick here, or they are in one of their passing formations, though.
3rd and 19. Grover is going to roll out. He's going to take a shot downfield, and the pass is incomplete.
Pass is intended for Zach Winters.
Winters, the intended receiver.
On the play, it's going to bring up
Cubs will
down
have
for
to
the
punt
Cubs.
this away, and a promising drive, some big momentum shifting first downs, and then penalties knocking them back and forcing a punt.
Yeah, the tough part about that drive, Andy, is if you're Lucas, you just kind of showed your hand with that short toss and then the outside toss, and you know, a well-coached team like maybe Whiteford might be, their front line's going to pick up on those blocking schemes, and it's going to make it a little more difficult to fool them.
Grover coming into tonight's game on the season, 24 of 42, 353 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
Which is about what you would expect
Yeah.
in an offense like this.
And he threw the ball very well against North Central.
He did.
Couple big shots downfield. Nice punt here. Takes a great bounce for the Cubs.
Oh, wow.
That's going to roll out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Zach Winters gets the nice friendly home roll, and we have a penalty flag on the field.
Penalty flags down.
It looks like it's going to be holding. It is holding. They haven't signaled who it's on yet.
Oh, wait.
It's
The
going to
one
be
official just
Penalty is
I think
face mask on,
yeah, he
face mask
signaled
on
a
the
face
Cubs.
face mask.
on Lucas this time, looks like. Boy, this is not the start that we wanted on senior night for Lucas. They usually come out pretty hot on
Yeah.
senior night.
So, couple big penalties against the Cubs now after a great punt from Winters that was going to pin the Bobcats back a little bit. So now move them out to the 26-yard line. I think they're still trying to figure out where to spot this. I don't think that's where it's supposed to be. Boy, this has been... They're going to get together now and try and figure this out.
Yeah, not a great start for Lucas, but maybe an even worse start for the
I think they're
officials
trying to
out here.
figure out who the penalty was on. There was a lot of pointing going back and forth. Oh, my goodness.
I hope these guys got a motel because we're able to make it.
It is against Lucas, so now they're adding the yards on. I was to say, if the ball went out of bounds right around the 16, yeah, they should be at the 31-yard line. 15-yard face mask penalty. Here we go. So this will be our first look at the Whiteford Bobcats offensively. 7:23 to go here, opening quarter. And here's a pitch, and the Cub defense all over it.
Guess who, Andy? Big Dan Hawkinsmith out there coming off the edge and making a play once again.
That was Breck Ruddy on the carry for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and Andy, I just want to say, before the game, I was watching Whiteford warm up, and I'm just going to say right now, the quarterback's got a can. The dude was throwing some
Loss of the yard,
nice
second
passes
down, 11
on
for
some fade
Whiteford.
routes, and I think if they can get Lucas sucked up into the inside there, they might be able to work that outside.
Handoff. Goes for little to no gain. Brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of game within the game there. Don't want to show too much if you're Whiteford. But Lucas is known for having a pretty heady defense, so maybe they want to kind of keep it close to the vest.
3rd down 10 from their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, they are looking at a 3rd and 10 here. 6:08 to go here. And they're going to try and pick it up through the air, and they will have enough for the 1st down. Nice pitch and catch there, and getting close to midfield, where he is then knocked out of bounds. Trenton Ayner on the catch.
Good for a 1st down.
Yeah, really good ball there by the quarterback. He set up in the pocket, planted that back foot, and ripped that across on, it looked like what might have been an out route, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Trenton Ayner was our player spotlight for the Bobcats. 92 rushing yards and a touchdown in their big win at White Pigeon last week. And here's a handoff. Running over a whole bunch of bodies. Nice gain on 1st down here.
Rick Ruddy on the carry.
That formation there, Andy, looked pretty similar to what Lucas likes to do on offense.
These teams, I think, are very similar in their style of play and who they want to be. And it very much should be, you know, obviously when you get these matchups of teams out of state, you don't really know a whole lot about them. But as you as I started to dive in and look at these teams, I was like, okay, this is going to be this could be a very competitive game here. And I think that's what we're in store for, as we've got 5 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. And nowhere to go on this carry. Whole pack of Cubs waiting.
Rick Ruddy on the carry.
Ray Caudill coming in to make that play.
Wrapped up behind the line of
You know
scrimmage
he's
by
ready
Ray
to
Caudill.
get after it in his last regular season game of his career.
Third down from the Cub 48-yard line.
Another 3rd down play here. Kind of interested to see, they're 3rd and 6. Interested to see if maybe they go with another short pass. Do they try to bust it long, or are they just going to run the ball here? Looks like they do split a guy out wide.
3rd and 6. Pressure and brought down, a big-time sack. Dan Hawkins-Smith gets in there. His 5th sack of the season, 5.5 technically, is going to force the Bobcats into a punting situation.
That's a really big deal, Andy, because not only are you going to stop Whiteford here, but when you get the ball back, you might have a little bit more momentum. Maybe you can kind of build off the minor successes you had on that 1st drive.
Hey, look at that. We got our scoreboard up and running. And this punt is going to go out of bounds somewhere, I think, around the 35-yard line, a little bit past the 40. And that is where the Cubs will take over.
Oh, boy. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 44. Couldn't ask for a much better
First and 10 Cubs from their own 44-yard line.
We'll see what the Cubs, they had some success on that opening drive, but penalties knocked them back, forced them to punt it away. And this handoff goes nowhere. This is one of the more difficult games to try and keep track of stats for, because these teams just bunch up and run right at each other, and then you just got to wait to see who comes out of the pile.
Well, and not just that, but
no gain on the
you
play.
got so many guys that are going to be touching the ball, even just for Lucas. You know, we've seen sometimes 4, 5, 6 guys touch the ball in a running formation, and it's hard to keep track of.
Toss in the backfield.
Brady
Giegold gets a couple on the play.
Whiteford doing a really good job up front of not letting Luke.
They're down 7 for the Cubs.
Be 3rd and 7 here. Cubs trying to keep this drive alive. And trying to get to the outside, but a great tackle there is going to prevent that from happening. That's Mason DeBar, the junior, 6'4", 170.
Brings up 4th down for the Cubs.
Wonder if he plays basketball too with that height. That is.
Well, I'd sure hope so. See if Winters can rip off another.
Zach Winters on the punt for the Cubs.
This is quickly trending into a game where it feels like whoever finds that end zone first is going to put themselves in a pretty good position, because these two defenses look locked in. And this is, you thought the last punt was good. This one even better, all the way down inside the 2.
Zach Winters punt.
Nope.
And I don't want to jinx anybody, Andy, but I'm just going to put this out there. You know, this Lucas front 7 is really going to be hungry for that safety. You know, maybe that's that end zone. Maybe that's how they find the end zone first.
That's not what I had in mind when I thought about whoever found the end zone first, but hey, points are points.
That's right.
Handoff up the middle, just trying to get some breathing room here. Goes for little to no gain. And aside from the, what was that, 7-minute conversation about the face mask penalty, this has been a quick moving first quarter.
It sure has. I looked up and saw a 1 in the minutes column on the clock and kind of wondered where it all went.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, if I'm Whiteford, I'm really taking note that Lucas sold out in the middle of the field there.
So make it a 3rd and manageable here.
Trent Eitner, the ball carrier.
Trent Eitner on the carry.
Doesn't Eitner kind of, he reminds you a little bit of Dan Hawkins?
Yeah, I mean, these teams kind of are like, they're like mirror images of each other.
3rd down Bobcats from their own 9-yard line.
I'm not all that familiar with how Michigan football works, but Whiteford translates to D7 in terms of like computer points and stuff here for Lucas, but they were the Division 8 state champions in Michigan back in 2022 and 2017.
State title's a state title.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're gonna have enough here for a 1st down. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Scoreless game here from Lucas. Should be a good one here tonight.
Quarter here from Bobwine Field. The score, the Whiteford Bobcats.
Welcome back in. Bobwine Field here at Lucas Stadium. 2nd quarter just getting underway. Andy Chardy alongside Jeremy Peoples.
Trenton Eitner on the carry.
Eitner with the carry.
On the stop for the Cubs.
Andy, this is just fun football. On this next play or over these next few series, I want you to watch, and you folks watching at home, take note. Watch these quarterbacks when they run those short tosses. They get up into that gap and they throw blocks.
Yeah.
They're not afraid.
No, they are a physical bunch. So did they not get the first down on the final play of the first quarter? There's a difference on the scoreboard and a difference with the chain gang.
You're right. And I thought
there's no way that was just a fourth down conversion.
No.
I believe it is second down now. I think we're all on the same page now. Yeah, second down and 7 here. It'll be second down and 8. Once again, bunch of bodies, bunch of rugby scrums tonight. This is going to be an absolute grind of a football game.
1950s Texas football.
They should have brought out the leather helmets tonight.
I saw a college team last weekend wearing the faux leather helmet.
It was Illinois,
Okay.
yeah, against Michigan, because I turned that game on too, and I was like, wait a second. Yeah, they were celebrating, I think, like the 100th anniversary of Illinois football, and the helmets, were really unique.
Yeah, good uniform, so I thought it looked good.
Handoff again here.
Right, Eitner, the ball carrier.
Eitner once again with the carry.
Keegan Arnold on the stop for the Cubs. Second down, 5, Whiteford from there.
Even for a play that didn't look like it went anywhere, it did get them 5 yards, which is a very good play for first down.
Yeah, and I credit the offensive line here for Whiteford. I played quarterback in high school. I have a healthy respect for those big boys up front. They're usually the catalyst for those kind of mash 'em plays.
And we're going to see their passing game on display from Trey Eitner.
Yeah, really well done. And 24, I didn't see where exactly he came from. He's been hanging out on that wing on the side of the line of scrimmage there, and kind of snuck out there, found the soft spot in the zone, and had to turn around and wait for the ball to get to him.
Bobcats on the move here. Starting to see these plays go for bigger and bigger chunks right now. They're starting to have their way up front a little bit here on this drive.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think the X factor and the difference in Lucas football, at least right now, is that the big man play, the offensive and defensive lines, they don't show that dominance that they have in years past. And I know that's not exactly something that you don't want to focus too much on, but it does impact the game a lot.
Second down and 4. And going to be a little bit short here.
Breck Ruddy on the carry.
Breck Ruddy with the carry.
I think one of the things,
Bobby Grover on the stop for
not
the
to
Cubs.
harp on the big
Bring
man
up third down,
continually, but one of the things that you have to focus on with a smaller school like Lucas is you don't really have the rotational guys to move in when, if you're getting pushed around on the defensive side of the ball, it's tough to rotate.
Yeah.
You got to play both sides sometimes, and it makes it hard.
Handoff here is enough for a first down and then some. 6 points, the Bobcats strike first.
Trenton Eitner takes it in for the Whiteford touchdown.
Eitner just runs hard, and he almost seems like he runs upright, but I think that's, just kind of the way that he sees the field the best. Seems to have pretty good awareness.
You could just kind of see that drive start to really take shape. That's a 98-yard drive, mind you. That started inside the 2.
You're right, after that great punt.
So they marched all the way down the field.
It looks like they're going to go for this.
Yeah, they're going to go for 2 here. Eitner keeps it. He's going to try and pick it up with his feet, lowers the shoulder, lunges forward, and he's going to be short, so the Lucas Cubs will keep him away.
Point conversion is no good.
6-0
on the stop for the Cubs.
Is our score here. 7:55 to go here, second quarter.
Little quarterback on quarterback crime there. Bobby Grover coming over to make that hit. And looked like the shoulder pad just touched the ground just before a quarterback could reach that ball out.
So a 98-yard touchdown drive. Whiteford strikes first. The state runner-ups last season in Michigan under head coach Todd Theiken in his third season, 31-5. Their conference that they were a part of disbanding, so they have played quite the schedule this year, traveling over 600 miles, playing anybody and anyone that will take them. And now they find their regular season coming to a conclusion here in Lucas, Ohio. And what a beautiful day. This time of year, it's something else. And driving down here too, man, the trees are like the perfect color, and try to soak it all in because it's probably only going to be this way for another week or so with the trees looking how they're looking and stuff too. So
yeah, I think the wind's coming on the horizon, but you're right. We've had a great
maybe like 2 weeks. I think we had some rain the 1 week. But other than that, it's been a pretty great weather season. And the Cubs will start just outside of the 30.
Willie Whitesall on the return.
And now it's time for the Cubs to answer.
Success on very much other than that kind of outside toss, inside toss, and haven't seen much effect with the passing. The offensive line's having a little bit of trouble. It's going to be some tough sledding for them. They got a 6-point deficit here. They really need to respond, at least with a good drive on this possession.
And officials once again meeting to figure out the spot, or they need another football.
Maybe getting Lucas's ball.
It could be.
Look here, Andy, Dan Hawkinsmith back in kind of a single back formation out of the wing. They like to hand off to him out of this.
And that's exactly what they'll do. He'll lower the shoulder and churn those legs for as long as he can. Nice pickup on first down here.
Yeah, and really well blocked by the right side of the Lucas line. I talked about how the offensive line might respond here. That's exactly the way you want to start this drive. I know it's only 4 or 5 yards, but
from their own 32-yard line.
Kind of a confidence booster.
This Cubs team coming into tonight, currently in the playoffs, control their own destiny. A win would most certainly put them in, potentially host. And a loss, they should more than likely still get in, but you never want to leave it up to chance.
No, and there's a lot of area teams that are kind of on that cusp. Gallion's another one where, a loss tonight could, sink them down maybe as low as 11, whereas a win tonight, with a little bit of help, they could be a 5 seed. Couple teams.
Yeah, they sure did. 5:49 to go here until halftime. 5:49 to go here until halftime. We'll have the Lucas Cubs marching band performance for you at halftime. I don't believe Whiteford traveled a marching band. There's a decent amount of folks that made the trek, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that.
State champs, man.
That's true.
They've built up the base. And once again, another big run on first down. Looks to be enough for a first down.
What?
It will be a first down.
First down from their own 26-yard line.
Their last drive going 98 yards. Went for 2, did not get it. Pretty clearly.
I can hear him through the headset.
It's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Still going, lowering the shoulder, taking Cubs with him. It's enough for another first down. What a run.
Eltner on the carry. Brady Anschutz on the stop for the Cubs.
Yeah, probably a
Good enough for
touchdown
another
saving
Whiteford
tackle there by
first
Barry
down.
Andrews.
First and 10
Saw
from their
Willie
own
Weitzel out there.
45-yard line.
Looked like he was a little bit upset with maybe a play call from the coaching staff, but I tell you what, the bottom line is you got to win your rep.
Yeah. Yeah, right now the Bobcats are starting to really control that line of scrimmage. And yeah, it is like watching another version of the Lucas Cubs. These wing T offenses. As Ruddy gets another carry here, picks up 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder, is there a frustration element with that? Lucas, it's almost like they're looking in the mirror. Like
Second down, 3 Whiteford from the Cub 48-yard line.
Present there, and they're kind of giving up some big plays. Maybe getting a little sting from like running scout offense.
Yeah. It's a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Ball at the 48-yard line for the Bobcats. Toss to the inside. Gets close to the first down, but it's going to be a little bit short. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Eltner, the ball carrier. Noah Kennard and Zach Winters on the stop for the Cubs.
Trenton
3rd down and about a yard.
Etnier on the carry. He had a 71-yard rushing performance against their big rival Summerfield in week 6. And pushing the pile forward, and it's gonna be, I believe, enough for a first down. I don't think they're gonna have to measure for this. Last week, made his first start at QB. Had a rushing touchdown and a 13-yard passing touchdown to Mason DeBar. And they're gonna look to throw it here. Roll, taking a shot downfield and incomplete. One of the few times the clock has stopped here. There's only 2:55 to go here in the second quarter. These are lengthy drives.
Yeah, they
Second down, 10
started
for
at the
Whiteford.
end of the first quarter there, switched sides, and I mean, I think Lucas got the ball back with what, like 7 minutes left or something like that?
Yeah. This Whiteford team last week in that win at White Pigeon. White Pigeon was previously undefeated and ranked in the top 5 in numerous polls. They'd only allowed 41 points on the year, and they gave up 30 to these Bobcats. As Whiteford ran for 316 yards, and you can see why. There's a nice stop by the Cubs. It's going to force Whiteford into a 3rd and long, and this is what the Cubs need to do.
Zach Winters on the stop for the Cubs, along with
Bobcats to try and pick it up through the air.
9.
Yeah, which honestly, Andy, it's a dangerous game to play. We've seen the quarterback make a couple good throws already. Receivers look like they got some wheels.
And a quick throw and just a little over his intended target. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
Now it's intended for Trenton Eltner.
Etnier
Complete. That's going to bring up 4th down for Whiteford.
unable to come down with it. 4th down. We'll see. They'll probably punt this one away with the way that their defense is playing. 2:18 to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want to give this Lucas offense any momentum. You don't want to give them an inch, because we've seen what they can do this year. And I'll tell you, it's
Still have all 3 of their timeouts, but you get them off the foot.
yeah, and almost blocked back there
Yeah.
as well.
So 2:08 to go. Cubs
Punt rolls
trying to
9-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10.
get things going here offensively. Their opening drive aided by a face mask penalty that gave them a first down, but then they picked up a couple other nice plays to get some first downs, but then shot themselves in the foot with a couple penalties. And since then, this is only their 3rd possession.
But I think you're right.
It's moving so fast.
I know it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, Whiteford scored with 7:55 to go in the second quarter. There's a run to the outside. Great pursuit, though.
Tim Daly on the carry.
Daly met by Etnier.
Penalty flags down.
We do have a flag on the play.
And this has to be a holding, I would think. I saw a couple of them, but yeah, it looks like a holding against Lucas. Goodness.
Already
Holding on the Cubs.
back in their own territory. This will move them back even further.
And, you know, I don't want to be overly critical of Lucas's offensive line here. Yeah, they've had some holding penalties, and you're going to have that in high school football, but let's not take credit away from Whiteford's front on defense here. They're getting past the blocks, and they're forcing these holding penalties.
We got a official timeout. Something with the center, I think. That looks like Keegan Arnold.
And he's not real happy.
Coming out. I don't know, maybe he's got a little bit of blood or something on the arm, or he's washing his hands right now on the sidelines with the water bottle. Maybe he's got a little bit of a cut or something. So the penalty makes it 1st and 14. 1:58 to go here. Both teams still with all 3 timeouts. Cubs trying to get a drive going here, or at the very least, just not let Whiteford get the ball back. Imagine they're going to start using their timeouts here, and they will not for the moment. A little surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised by that. Looks like it might have been a Lucas Cub down on the field for a second there.
Tim Daly on the carry.
Yeah, Andy, I'm surprised by that too, because the way that their offense functions, I mean, that run to set up the pass, they're kind of primed for a quick strike against Lucas.
Unless they think they don't need a lot of time, because Lucas, if I'm Lucas, I'm not snapping this ball for another 10 seconds, but they snap it with 10 still to go, and a penalty comes in.
Penalty flags down.
Yeah, it might be an illegal proceed.
Might have been a shifter.
And Andy, here's another one of those plays where this penalty is really going to bite Lucas, because this is the first time that they've showed that kind of reverse there. I think they call it a counter, but it looks like a, kind of traditional reverse. And they might, I don't know that they would have really had a lot of success on that play, but you've shown it. And Whiteford, obviously, we've seen that they make pretty good adjustments. Their coaching staff sounds like they're pretty heady. I mean,
yeah.
That's not what you want.
So the only thing that has really brought this game to a halt has been when the officials have had to get together here and figure out what they want to do.
Well, and that's what they're there for, is to slow the game down, right, Andy?
And they're waving off the penalty flag.
Oh, and oh, gosh.
Penalty flags being waved off.
That's tough. If you're Lucas, they waved that off. They killed that play. They killed that play. That's frustrating.
And again, Whiteford allowing the clock to run. Thought for sure. It is 2nd down. Minute to go here. And just nowhere for these Cubs to go right now. I think we're going to see our first timeout, and we will. And there's a penalty flag that comes in late as well, too. In a game like this, too, I mean, with the way that they're just, it's all up front, everyone is involved, it's going to get chippy.
Yeah,
and I think you're starting to see that. Halftime might be coming at the right moment for these two.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But this is a big penalty. We'll see who it's on. It's going to be against Lucas. We'll say if that was against Whiteford and would give the Cubs a first down, then.
And Andy, I think that was an unsportsmanlike conduct.
I believe it was.
Now, don't quote me on this, because I didn't exactly see what they threw the flag on or who, but it almost looked like it might have been on Brady Giegold. And that's got some implications, let's say, goodness forbid he gets another one in the second half. That's going to have some implications on first round of the playoffs if they do get in.
Yeah, because it's a full 4 quarters, right. Correct, is how that works. So if it happens in the second half, he would miss the first half of, or I guess if it happened in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were talking about before the game, talking about how Giegold, he's, 50-some yards or roughly away from 1,000 on the season. That's kind of a big deal.
There also seems to be some confusion as to what down it is again, and this has kind of been a theme of the night. I believe it's third down.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
And I think Coach Sweat and the staff were asking the officials, what down is it? And they're changing it. It's actually, the chain gang had it as third down, and now the official is talking with them.
Yeah, and the official signaled third down.
The scoreboard is showing second down, but I believe it is third. Third and 12, Bobcats have 2 timeouts left. If the Cubs don't pick up this first down, expect them to only have 1 remaining. And yeah, they will take it. It's going to bring up 4th down. And I don't think any time came off the clock there.
Well, Andy, it's been a long season for everybody involved, including the guys up in the press box. You know, sometimes you have those little brain slips.
The officials right now, I think, they're discussing, they're looking at that scoreboard right now. It's tough. Running the clock is one of the more stressful jobs you can have, because I've ran like Scorebug for a couple different broadcasts that I've worked on where it's manual, like you're clicking and stopping, and there are times where if you miss it, you don't think you're missing something, but suddenly 8 seconds have passed and you're suddenly behind or you're way ahead of the action. So
yeah, I've had that work in wrestling tables before, and next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 coaches and the official hollering at you, and you know, the whole room's ticked off.
It is 4th down. The Cubs will punt this one away.
Punt for the Cubs.
This is dangerous, dangerous here.
Timeout by Lucas.
Yeah, and I think that's smart. They need to take a little extra time and talk this over, talk about, you know,
just a reminder,
this is a big play.
Immediately following the game at the Lucas Community
There's a big
Center.
Difference in being
Rewatch
down
the game
6-0
on the big screen and free pizza.
12
Again,
or
that's
14
tonight,
to nothing.
Yeah, it is a big punt. Yeah, you want to
rewatch the game on the big screen.
Want to get this off cleanly.
You know, and it's tough there because there's so much at stake. You know, you have to be careful you don't give up a block punt. So you got to be strong up front. You also got to make sure you get off of those blocks as soon as you hear the punt go. That way you can have the good coverage. If you don't have good coverage, we've seen the athletes that Whiteford has. You never know.
I just looked too because I think they just turned it on recently, but I'm pretty sure the Bobcats have like a full TV monitor on their sidelines. It's not on at the moment, but I think it's right behind sort of where those players are standing at the end of the sideline. And that punt is almost blocked. But once again, gonna take a nice hop and still be good field position. Boy, they're gonna continue to let time run off here.
Zach Winters rolls
smart by Ray Caudill. He had the sideline hollering at him to leave it go there.
So 37 seconds until halftime. 1 timeout remaining for the Bobcats. Their only touchdown drive, go figure, the one that started inside their 2. Other than that, Cubs have answered the challenge. These two teams very similar in style. Just tough-nosed football coming right at you. We're not changing ourselves. If you can't stop it, you're going to be in for a long night kind of mentality.
Yeah, and I think the difference tonight has been the discipline by White.
That pass, dangerous, but does sail out of bounds.
Pass sails out of bounds.
I think that was a little intentional there. They were looking at the sideline, and I think quarterback number 1 there just kind of saw him throw that away without throwing it away.
They'll go to the air again. pressure. Penalty flag does come in. Probably in the area of holding, I would think.
And you almost got to wonder if there might have been grounding there. It was sort of in the general direction of a receiver, but he was obviously kind of just throwing that one away.
Well, they were about to signal holding against Whiteford, but now they're not sure. The official signaled holding and was just about to point Whiteford direction. But now...
Okay, so they were talking about
the grounding?
Yeah, they were talking about grounding, and the official on the far side there looked like he was pointing that there was a receiver in the area. It looked like they are going to get Whiteford on that hold.
So that will hurt the cause for the Bobcats. This will back them up deep into their own territory now. I guess not as far back as it looked like they were all going to be moving. They'll move them back just outside the 45.
Is that just the second penalty by Whiteford?
They had the one on the opening drive, the face mask. I think you might be right. Here's a pitch to the outside, trying to cut it upfield, gets most of the penalty yardage back, and then some. Actually might have enough for a first down, depending on where
Running on the carry around right end.
they spot this. It's going to be third down.
Whiteford's coach over there was not happy about something. He was pointing up at the clock.
Timeout, Whiteford.
I'm not sure what about, though. They do signal a first down.
So they did give him a first down. Okay.
I don't know what he's upset about, though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, too. Well, did he have to use his timeout because it was initially third down? The clock would have stopped on a first down, right?
It would have, and I think that might have been what he was chewing the official's ear off about is, you know, I think he was unhappy with maybe they waited a second to signal the first down. But the clock did stop, I think, right away.
It's been a weird game. It's just been a weird, and it all just started right off the bat with the confusion on the face mask penalty against Whiteford. And it just, the game really hasn't had a flow to it. But Whiteford now out of timeouts, really only have time for another play or two, depending on if you get out of bounds. And the way that these offenses are too. They're gonna take a shot downfield and incomplete, but stop me if you've heard this before. We got a penalty flag on the play.
Penalty flags down.
And it's gonna be against Whiteford.
And any Whiteford fans out there and virtual land watching or listening to this, I apologize for jinxing the discipline of this squad. I'll take full accountability for that.
Yeah, they've really come back, made you eat your words here these last couple plays.
Absolutely. You know, I'd like to see Whiteford put a receiver out on the sideline and streak him down there.
First and 20. They'll go to the air again. Hail Mary time. Gets away from one Cub defender, takes his shot downfield, and incomplete.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, Andy, Lucas got away with one here. Number 14, he came across on kind of a flag route and ended up on this near hash, kind of close to us, all alone initially. Luckily for Lucas's rushers, they kind of had some pressure there on the quarterback. He didn't have a chance to get a good pass off.
Stick with us here at halftime. We'll break down what we saw for you in the first half. We'll have the Lucas Cubs marching band performance for you. It's all coming up.
Maybe even the alumni will perform with them as well. They did.
Oh, is that a tease? And this run goes nowhere. That'll be the end of the first half. It is a slugfest between these two teams. Whiteford coming in here from Michigan. They lead it 6-0 at the half.
Lucas Cubs 0.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
And now we welcome back to the field the over 20 alumni and 7th graders joining us in our celebration of the band and the Lucas community this evening.
Yeah, they shut that off, so it just all comes to the house now. You gotta go crazy. That's what he needs to do to be done with it.
As the regular season draws to an end, we join in our football team's fight to finish and beginning of the postseason. Written by Survivor for the 1982 movie Rocky III, topping the charts for over a month after its release. Combined with our alumni, here is Eye of the Tiger.
He'll probably rent the house out. I'm not sure.
Our final song this evening is a shout out to our fans in the stands. This one includes some participation, and we want to hear you. Here's a tune everyone knows, the Hay Song. Now, please join us as we play the Lucas High School Fight Song. The Lucas Cubs Marching Band would like to thank you for your continued support of our music program. Our students work extremely hard and they are proud to share their music with you. A hearty thank you to our alumni and 7th grade guests for their hard work to prepare for this evening and the gift of their musical talents. Go Cubs!
Ladies and gentlemen, we once again bid you good evening here from Bob Wine Field at Lucas Stadium. Entering the field at this time is the 2024 Lucas Middle School football team. The Middle School Cubs finished out their regular season last Thursday when they traveled to Gibsonburg and picked up a 50-12 victory. With the win, the Cubs were able to finish off an impressive 8-0 season. The athletic department is proud to take a moment and recognize these young men and our coaches for all their hard work and dedication that they put in this season. We'd like to congratulate them on an undefeated season, and we're excited to see them in the future as they hope to continue the football success here at Lucas. First of all, head coach Mike Barr. Assistant coaches Eli Mayer and Jared Risner. Now for the players. Number 2, Grayson Flenner. Number 3, Christian Carroll. Number 4, Owen Giegold. Number 5, Dylan Miller. Number 10, Zell Finley. Number 11, Bentley Ranigan. Number 12, Nick Steinhauer. Number 13, Graham McGlott. Number 31, Landon Cook. Number 32, Dominic Clark. Number 33, Owen Ramsey. Number 42, Aiden Moore. Number 43, Kendon Brown. Number 44, Baron Anschutz. Number 53, Leland Hitchman. Number 54, TJ Wojciechowski. Number 56, Stuart Smith. Number 60, Max Miller. Number 61, Cale Tedrow. Number 70, Ben Hawkins-Smith. Number 71, Jackson Brown. Let's give these young men a big round of applause. Congratulations on a perfect season, guys.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
halftime show from Bob Wine Field at Lucas Stadium, where the Cubs trail the Bobcats from Whiteford 6-0 out of Michigan. Andy Jardy alongside Jeremy Peoples. Pretty quick moving first half, Jeremy. Anything that really stood out to you from what we saw there in that first half?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was the ability of Whiteford to react to what Lucas is doing. And granted, we talked a little bit about the mirror aspect of these offenses. You know, it's not an offense that they haven't seen yet, but I think there is something to be said about the response, because we saw in that first drive that Lucas had, they did have a couple plays where they had some success, but it kind of fizzled out there. Whiteford responded well. They turned it around, and they look up at the scoreboard. They got a 6-0 lead, and with an offense like both of these teams run, you said it in the first quarter, sometimes that 6 points is enough to get you through all 4 quarters.
Yeah, you know, I said whoever I thought got in the end zone first might find themselves winning in this one, and so far it's been the only score of this one. And speaking of scores, we got a couple other scores from around the area that we can fill you in on here as I pull up our text chain with everybody here from the OH.Report at all the various games we're at. Monroeville up 14-7 at the half. They're playing St. Paul tonight, which St. Paul, again, started 0-3 to start the year and find themselves with a chance to win the conference tonight, or at least a share of it, I think, if they win. But Monroeville's having a heck of a season. They are still undefeated. They lead 14-7 at the half. Mohawk up 7-6. Don't have a quarter as to where that's at. I'm going to assume halftime. Centerburg leads Fredericktown 28-7. And Norwayne is up 24-14 at the half on Hillsdale.
Really?
So that's a big one. Brian Skoronsky is over at that game. And so that's...
Hillsdale I saw come in early this season. I think Lucas's first home game, and they kind of showed out here.
I got to see them when they played, oh gosh, it was one of their bigger games of the year. And it was an incredible game, one of the best high school football games I've witnessed, and I'm totally blanking on who they played. It was someone else really good in the Wayne County Athletic League, and it escapes my memory at the moment.
It'll come to you.
It will. I'll probably see it here as I'm reading through some other scores here for you. Over in the OCC, how about this? These two teams, Mansfield Senior and Madison, the city game, like this is the first time either one of them have played and not really had anything to play for.
Right.
Where both teams are coming in playing. At the half, Madison leads 7-0.
I tell you what, Senior has had a couple tough losses this year. I know you want to call it a down year, but this might be more than just a down year for Senior High. I mean, and especially if they drop one to Madison tonight, those guys are never going to hear the end of it.
No, yeah, this has been like a historically bad season over there for the TY Tigers. Hopefully just a blip on the radar, and they're back to their winning ways again starting next season. Lexington at Ashland, the Arrows lead 17-14 at the half. Lexington's been a very interesting team that has really just improved week in and week out this season.
Yeah, we saw them early this season. They put up a 14 spot and led 14-0 against Ontario. And then, of course, Ontario comes back in the second half, and Bodkin Miller just is being Bodkin Miller. But, you know, you're right. Lexington, they come into this game tonight looking to get a share of the conference title. And how big would that be for Lexington to knock off Ashland? I mean, I'm not sure. When is the last time that happened?
I'd have to dig into some research and take a look at that, because I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. Call it the hangover game here between Ontario and Highland. Ontario's up 10-7 at the half.
Highland
coming off a tough loss last week to Shelby.
Highland plays Ontario tough, traditionally. I don't know what it is, but you're right. This is kind of a, show me week for Ontario. They've been really good all year. They've got a great quarterback. The defense has been kind of spotty at times, but they're a good team, make no mistake. And Shelby is a great team. They took a loss to Shelby last week, but You got to think a loss to Highland would really kind of be a morale crusher for Ontario tonight.
Absolutely. Shelby, by the way, leads 21-6 at the half at Pleasant. So that is it for your halftime scores. That's it for our 89 Homes halftime show. And when we come back, we'll have second half action for you on the other side of the break. So stick with us.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
Welcome back into Lucas, Ohio, where the Cubs trail 6-0 at the half against the Bobcats out of Whiteford, Michigan. I believe it's Ottawa Lake is the actual city that they are in. Andy Jardy alongside Jeremy Peoples. Thanks so much for spending your Friday night with us here on the OH.Report live and free. Week 10, which is just baffling that we're that far.
Coach John Barrett, who has been with the Cub football program for the last 10 years, and he is coaching his final regular season game here at Bob Wine Field tonight. Just want to tell Coach Barrett thank you for everything you've done for the Cub football program.
Yeah, shout out Coach Barrett for the Cubs. We just heard over the PA he's coaching his final game here at Bob Wine Field.
Seen a lot of success here.
Yeah,
no question about it. It's amazing, too. They were honoring the 8th grade team as this little squib kick will be jumped on at the 35-yard line. But they're honoring the 8th grade Lucas Cubs football team at halftime, and it's just amazing. And it's no surprise. I mean, I went to a small school similar to this too, but the last names, they never change. You're just like, oh my gosh, here comes another one. Heard some Tedros, some Geagles in there. I was gonna say, I think I heard a Hawkinsmith in there too, and I was like, my God, they just keep churning them out. Yep. It's the same. That's how you build a program, right? You get the good family genes at this level, and
yeah. And to that point, I believe I heard that they were undefeated and they just won.
Yes.
50-some to nothing.
Against Gibsonburg, who, growing up, Gibsonburg always used to just destroy us in anything we played them in. So that's a big win there. This is a big run on first down. Breck Ruddy on the carry, gets about 6 on the play.
Zach Winters on the stop for the Cubs. Ray Cottle is the first one to hit him. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Whiteford from their own 43-yard line.
They're going to give him 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. Hand off to Ruddy again. And the Cubs. I've seen enough of him on this drive. Big stop there.
Yep. Dan Hawkinsmith in on that one. And, you really got to feel for these seniors from Lucas playing their last home game here, more than likely, almost assuredly. I mean, this is the last 2 quarters you got. You got to go out, sell out, put it all out there, and make sure you have no regrets.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 3. Boy, the Cubs looking to get a big 3 and out to start here. And they appear to have one.
Trent Neitner, the ball carrier.
That is going to be well short of the first down. Trent Neitner gets the carry. 4th down.
Dan Hawkinsmith and Noah Kennard on the stop.
It'll be 4th and a long 1.
Down Whiteford.
And I think they're going to keep the offense on the field here.
I think Whiteford might go for this one, and I don't blame them.
I don't either.
That stop right there we saw, Lucas hasn't stopped 33 very often tonight. I almost got to think that that's where they're going to be going again.
We'll see, too. They might just come out and try to get him to jump off sides. Play clock already down to 8. They are going to go for it, and I don't know if he got it.
I don't think he did.
Lucas seems to think no.
The spot coming in is looking like it's just a little short.
Yeah, we're kind of on an angle where we're at. It looks to be short. Whiteford thinks they've got it. Lucas thinks they've got it. All that matters is what the officials say.
I think they're going to have to measure this one.
I love a good measurement. It's been so long. I think it was here when I was here a couple weeks ago. We had maybe one of the first measurements I had seen on the year.
Yeah, you don't see it very often. Putting a lot of pressure on the chain gang over there, maybe.
It's great. There's the drama that comes with the measurement. When it's so close sometimes, like I remember in one NFL game I watched where they had to like bring out the note card. Like that's, oh man.
Officials have called for a measurement.
Here we go. Buckle up, everyone. This is big because if it's not, Lucas has good field position here, and it's only a 1-possession game, and this feels like a game too where a 2-possession lead might be too much to overcome.
You see some curious Cubs out there.
Oh, here we go. Time for the reacts.
Looks like he got it.
He got it. Wow.
First down, Whiteford.
How about that? It's a home and kitchen supply first down. I did not think he got anywhere, honestly, close to it.
I didn't think so either. Maybe he came down on top of a few bodies in that pile, but tell you, if you're Lucas, Andy, you can't let this get into your head. You had a pretty good 4 plays right there. You have to continue that. You have to make sure that
First
you
and
stay
10,
in
Whiteford
the game
from their own 46-yard line.
So that is a big, big first down. Just when the Cubs thought they had some momentum, here's a little counter action, spinning, trying to get out of it, but it goes for a loss in the backfield. Trent Eitner nowhere to go.
Senior Ray Cottle, he got there in the backfield. He read it perfectly. I think that's the first time that we've seen that play tonight, Andy, and Lucas did a pretty good job of sniffing it out.
Take a look at the replay. We got replays working, thanks to Adam Thompson, our director extraordinaire.
What doesn't that guy do?
He's incredible. Yeah, we are just we're rolling out things as the game. We're getting better as it goes along here. Thanks for sticking with us. And that pass is dropped on the outside. Going to be 3rd down and 11. So another chance now for Lucas. Thought they stopped him on 4th down. A 3rd and 11 here. Another chance to potentially get the ball back.
Yeah, and I think quarterback just rushed that throw a little bit there. Came out a little bit low out of the arm, and sometimes that happens on those quick throws. I do think that if that would have been completed, they might have been looking at 6 or 7 yards, maybe even more.
3rd down as the leaves start to fall off the trees. The wind picking up a little bit here down in Lucas. Eitner takes a shot downfield, one-on-one coverage, jump ball tipped, and did that fall into his hands?
He caught that.
I think he did. What a catch for a first down. There is a penalty flag on the play. Take a look at this catch. Goes up, ball falls right down into his hands. That's Mason DeBar with the catch.
Great catch, and I think looked like they got a hold on the Lucas defense there.
Yeah, the penalty is declined.
Yeah, looks like the flag over there near the 41.
Man, it has just been some back-breaking plays here. Anytime it looks like the Cubs have got a window of opportunity, Whiteford's been able to answer. You can hear them stressing on the sidelines when I just heard one of the Lucas coaches, guys, next play. Like, you got to move on. And
yeah, and that's the key to it. You have to know how to continue the game. You have to keep in it psychologically and don't let 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 plays break you mentally.
Here's a handoff. Up the middle. That's Chevy Alexander on the carry.
Alexander on the carry for White.
Great name.
Absolutely, out there with the Guardian cap too.
I know, at first I thought he wasn't wearing a helmet the way that it looked, but yeah, you're starting to see those pop in a little bit more, and anything that can cut down on concussions and keep people healthy, I am all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
To gain a 5, 2nd and 5. Here's a run to the outside. Cuts back. Still going. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Whiteford.
Lucas calling for a fumble out of the end zone, but don't think that's going to be the case. Looked like he held on to it until he got.
We're gonna wait and see what the official call is here.
It's like a Cub down on the field over there.
We're gonna take a look at the replay here a little bit and see if the ball does come out at the end.
No, he was definitely reaching it. He hit that pylon with the ball.
Let's see if we can watch this back again.
Not sure who that is down there on the field.
So it does look like he dropped the ball, but I don't know if he was already in the end zone.
Yeah, and as soon as it touches that plane, the play's over, and as long as he's got control when he crosses that plane, it's a touchdown, and it doesn't matter what he does with the football after that.
It was Breck Ruddy on the carry. The one official did signal touchdown, and if it stands, it's a 22-yard touchdown run for number 22, and it would make it 12-0. They have put the points up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's, I don't want to call it a backbreaker for Lucas here, but that's really going to change, you know, getting a stop versus giving up that touchdown there is really going to change what your play calling is going to require out of this second half here.
Now they've taken the points off the scoreboard, so I don't know. Not sure what this is, but I can't, yeah, like you said too, I can't make out who that is that's down over there.
Not sure. Being attended to by excellent athletic trainer Nicole Howe.
Looks like number 59, Noah Kennard. He is not putting any weight, it looks like, on that.
No, he's
His
definitely needing some help
right
there.
foot, right leg. So hope Noah's okay. So many of these guys, two-way players at this level. You see him on the offensive line, you see him at the inside linebacker. So still waiting. I think they're saying it's 1st and goal at the 1.
That's what it looks like. But I'm not exactly sure, you know, what call that was. I mean, are they saying he stepped out of bounds?
He must have
maybe?
stepped out of bounds somewhere, but it is 1st and goal from the 1. And it's going to be a keeper, and he'll be in.
A little bit of a tush push there.
Touchdown, Whiteford.
7:51 to go, second quarter. They've pushed this out to a 2-possession lead. Eitner keeps it from 1 yard out.
Yeah, and they're going to go for 2 here, Andy. And you can hardly blame them.
Yeah, they went for 2 the first time. Didn't get it, and I think he was able to lunge in and get this, though. He was definitely short of it, but then able to get in.
Conversion is good.
Makes it 14-0. We'll see if the Cubs can answer on the other side of the break.
7 minutes, 51 seconds.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Could it be any more of a fall evening right now, Jeremy? Like, they call it the treehouse for a reason with where we're set up here in Lucas. And the wind has kicked up, and like it's snowing leaves at the moment, and it's just like the most picturesque fall moment.
Yeah, you know, the thing about shooting games in a treehouse is early in the year you're kind of getting rained on by spiders and mosquitoes and other bugs, and late in the year you're getting rained on by leaves. So
I'll take it.
You're right, it is autumn in a nutshell.
Cubs looking for a big return here to get themselves back into this, and they will get one out a little bit past the 35 is where they will take over now. And we were talking during the break,
On the return.
probably time to take a shot downfield if you're Lucas.
Yeah, you got to start taking some chances. I mean, not to be punny, Andy, but It's the last game of the year. You can't hold anything back now.
Yeah, they just need a spark. They need something. They had 2 chances
from their own 38-yard
to stop the Bobcats on that last drive, a 4th and 1 that they just barely picked up, and then a 3rd and long that was a tip drill that got caught, as they're going to stick on the ground here and pick up a few.
And Andy, if I'm not mistaken,
Brady,
that incredible catch, was that on 3rd down?
It was like a 3rd and 11 or something. Yeah, they had.
That's a backbreaker if you're Lucas.
Yep, they stopped him on 1st down for a loss, and then there was a 2nd down pass that was incomplete, and then the 3rd down throw. Now, there was also a penalty on the play, too, so it would have been a 1st down or at least a 3rd and short, potential 4-down territory situation. Boy, that play looked to be a little bit of confusion there.
Tim Daly on the carry. Wrapped up by Nolan Walker.
Take a look at the replay here.
No gain on the play.
Goes for no gain as, no, it was just good defense.
Yeah, and that's kind of that 40. Almost counter handoff that they like to do. It looks like a reverse, but it ends up like an inside kind of, not quite an off tackle, but just a little inside of that. And they do have success with it sometimes.
3rd and 8, Cubs need it. And they're going to toss it in the backfield and trying to cut upfield and get it. Tim Daly just nowhere to go.
On the carry, penalty flags now.
Flag does come in.
Yeah, and it might have been I hope it's not another hold, but it looked like they might have got Daly up high on the shoulder pads there. You saw Whiteford's coaching staff over there going crazy after that play.
Yeah, the flag was thrown in the area of where the penalty was.
Yeah, and Andy, it does look like, just kind of lip reading here, doing my best John Boy impression.
Yes.
Looks like they are going to get a horse collar, I think. At least that's what the official was kind of mimicking. They're going to wave it off. Okay.
Okay. So 4th down.
That could have been a really big deal for Lucas there if that penalty did happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's just been it too. They've been like right on the doorstep all night of having some big plays kind of go their way, and Whiteford has been able to answer each and every time.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
it's tough. And even special teams, we saw that punt down here, pretty good punt, and ended up getting called back.
The Cubs will punt it away and look to see if their defense can get them a big stop. Here's a muffed punt. That would certainly help the cause. Falling on it, and again, just when it looks like there's a little window there, Whiteford able to slam the window shut. They'll take over now with 6:16 to go, up 14-0.
Yeah, and there again, Andy, it's kind of death by a million cuts sort of style when you have those plays that almost go your way but don't, or something gets called back. You got to make sure that you're staying in the game mentally and don't let that defeat you, because a couple of those go your way, and we're looking at a different scoreboard here.
First and 10 from the 21. And we've seen the length that these drives can last.
Tonight's winning 50-50 ticket number.
Yeah, I think that drive to
649
that started at towards the end of the first quarter there. I think that ended up being
8903.
8-9 minute drive.
It was quick. Yeah, it took a lot of time off the clock.
Near the concession stand.
Yeah, the Bobcats scored with 7:55 to go in the second quarter on a 40-yard touchdown run from Trenton Etnier, who is probably leaning towards our MVP interview in postgame, as they have enough for another home and kitchen supply first down. Although we might have to interview Mason DeBar just for the catch that he made.
Oh, my goodness.
The concentration. But they just do so much in the backfield to throw you off. And Lucas is the same way, too. I mean, there's so much movement and handoffs and fake handoffs.
Andy Trejo, the ball carrier. Wrapped up by Ray Cottle. Second down 8 for the Bobcats.
Don't forget to tune in tonight, Friday Night Pigskin. Last one of the regular season, which is wild.
That is so hard to believe.
Every year, it seems to go quicker and quicker. And
oh my gosh.
Just a run that refused
Ruddy on the carry.
to end. Breck Ruddy.
Run out of bounds by Ray Cottle.
You see him get to the outside here. How many tackles does he break here? 1, 2, 3, 4 before he's finally pushed out of bounds to make this a 3rd and short.
And maybe you can even call it 5 because I think getting away from Dan Hawkinsmith might just count as double.
Another 3rd and short, and looks to be enough for another Home and Kitchen Supply first down and another first down for Whiteford.
Yep, 33 again, banging it in there. I don't think we've seen him get stopped on first contact once tonight.
Brett Ruddy on the carry.
Boy, the Cubs they need something to spark them. This place is just quiet.
I don't think we've heard it this quiet.
I'm almost like, am I talking too loud? Like, it's like someone shooting a free throw or something at a home game. Just under 4 to go. Another handoff here.
Good gang tackle there.
This was one of the things that Lucas needed to do. And it was the same thing that the Bobcats needed to do too, was win those first and second downs.
Brought down by Zach Winters.
And we saw Lucas last drive. They did win those first and second downs, but they gave up the big play on 3rd and 11.
5-yard line.
They forced a 4th and 1 that they just barely converted. As Eitner's carry gets them 1 yard, 2nd and 9. The toss outside to Ruddy, cuts up field. Should be enough for a first down. We lost one of the chain gang, but it is enough for a first down.
Yeah, it's not an easy job over there. I really don't envy those guys. Much rather be up here in the nest.
Yeah. Clock continues to move. You can see they've got you can see the championship pedigree in this Bobcats team. They get a lead. They just do not stop. As another big run here.
This QB run, he just got thrown down on that right shoulder, and he's holding the right shoulder.
Trey Eitner on the keeper.
That's Trey Eitner. Yeah, he is slow to get up.
Yeah, he's hurt. He grabbed that right shoulder, Andy, and I think he fell down right on it.
Take a look at the replay here. Yeah, he got brought down a little awkwardly, a little tough.
Ooh, yes.
Kind of just got tripped up and it fell on it.
Oh boy, you hate to speculate, but usually when you see a fall like that with that forward element kind of moving from, top of the shoulder down, again, I don't want to speculate, but a lot of times, and I know from experience, that can be a rotator cuff.
Well, he is up, at least. You see him there on the sidelines. He's got his helmet off right now and kind of shaking it off.
Kind of odd. Clock's still running, had the water boy out on the field.
So now you will see Drew Ruddy in at quarterback. Made his first start at quarterback last week, and Ruddy keeps it and skirts his way out around the sidelines.
Drew Ruddy on the carry.
Looks to be a little short of the first down, I think.
Yeah, it's continuing to get chippy out there. I think Lucas
Looks like
defenders
Keegan
getting a
Arnold
little
on the stop for
frustrated.
the Cubs.
Well, it's just tough when a team just imposes their will and you have not been able to respond.
Yeah, it's almost a taste of your own medicine. That's the exact type of game that the Lucas Cubs typically play. It's the old
Second down,
RPO,
Whiteford
run
from
people
the
over,
Cubs'
as
7-yard
we
line.
like to so fondly say.
Ruddy keeps it. Ruddy to the outside, scampers in from 6 yards out, touchdown.
Touchdown, Whiteford. Drew Ruddy, 7-yard touchdown run.
3 quarterback runs that we saw right in a row.
Yeah, Ruddy was responsible for 2 of them. It's a 6-yard touchdown run.
See one trotting back out on the field. That's a good sign.
Yeah, Trey Eitner, the quarterback, came out on that drive, landed on his shoulder awkwardly.
Be surprised if we see him throw the ball again.
Well, look good there on the toss. And the 2-point conversion is good to make it 22-0. Bobcats having their way here in Lucas. See if the Cubs can answer when we come back.
Conversion is...
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Welcome back into Bob Wine Field at Lucas Stadium. Andy Jardy alongside Jeremy Peoples. It has been all Bobcats out of Michigan here tonight as they lead this thing 22-0. Kind of giving the Cubs a taste of their own medicine with the power of football.
Brady Ann shoots on the return for the Cubs.
Pretty good hit there by 27.
I was to say the hits seem to be getting louder as the game has progressed.
On the stop for Bobcats. Going to bring 1st and 10 Cubs.
Brady Anschutz on that return. He's also known
From
as a pretty
right
good
at their
hitter.
30-yard
Yeah.
line.
He'll bring the stick.
Been a tough night offensively for the Cubs. Just a couple of first downs on the night. Haven't had a drive make it into the red zone. And they'll go through the air, little screen to the outside, and just nowhere to go.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you're Lucas, everybody in the world knows what you got to do here to claw back from this 22-point deficit.
Bobby Grover's pass is
It's not
complete
going to
to
make for a
Tim
fun
Daly.
fourth quarter offensively for him.
Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down 11 for the Cubs.
This was a Lucas team coming in, playing arguably its best football of the season. Won 46-9 at Lakota last week. Beat North Central 50-0 the week before that. Here's a nice run.
Brady Eagle on the carry.
Brady Giegold on the carry. Makes us a 3rd and manageable here.
Cubs from their own 35-yard
Yeah,
line.
you got to love it. You mentioned it earlier in the game, that Whiteford sideline, you hear those coaches hollering.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're up 22-0 against a primarily running team, doesn't pass very much, and they're still hollering, asking for perfection.
Going to be a little bit short here. Probably got to go for this, though, if you're Lucas. Down 3 scores. Third quarter winding down.
Dan Hawkins-Smith on the carry. Gain of 2 on the play.
They do not need to snap the ball here, but you would think they would want to. 3 seconds, 2. They will, and the handoff is not going to be enough, and that is going to do it for the third quarter. 22-0 Whiteford. Cubs will try to claw back into this one here in the fourth quarter.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Now we're back.
Yeah, good stop for a loss right there by Lucas. Zach Winters getting in and making that stop.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. There's a nice little pitch and catch and makes this a 3rd and short.
Winters' pass is complete to Mason.
Shoulder looked okay there.
Sure did.
Good to see that.
Take a look at this replay here. Just a quick little slant, little curl. Throw into the big fella there. Mason DeBar. I've already seen him come down with one incredible catch. That one a little more traditional, if you will.
And Andy, I just want to point out, not only is one throwing the ball again, but that's not an easy throw to make. That's a one step and kind of fall back and sling it. And it's got to be quick.
Trenton Eitner on the
Trenton
carry.
Eitner.
Penalty flags down.
See what this penalty flag is. I think it's going to go against Lucas.
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
Personal foul.
Looked like might have been some extracurricular activity, but we didn't see the unsportsmanlike call like we did earlier in the game.
So that will move them into the red zone. They're at the 13. Hand off to Eitner. Nowhere to go on that one. Good defense by the Cubs.
Yeah, and if you're Lucas, you got your backs up against the wall. You're down pretty big. It's late in the game. We got 10 minutes to go, roughly. You got to finish the game the right way. You got to make sure you keep your head in it and finish the game with honor.
Tell you what, though, this is a great opponent to face going into postseason play because this is going to be one of the better teams you see. Oh, yeah, we got some multiple flags coming in as this game continues to get chippier and chippier as time goes on.
Penalty flags down.
So I did see the official there making the signal for unsportsmanlike.
We got 2 penalty flags in here.
Yeah, Lucas sideline saying that they didn't blow the whistle soon enough. But I got to think if there's an unsportsmanlike penalty, it didn't have much to do with the whistle. And again, now we're inside the 4th quarter. If you're Lucas, you cannot get frustrated and get booted out of this football game.
Yeah, take it on the chin here tonight and get ready for next week.
Absolutely.
But don't do anything to hurt your chances at next week. So personal foul, I'm gonna guess we're gonna have offsetting here.
Okay, no unsportsmanlike.
And another penalty flag comes in though.
And I think this is going to be on the Lucas sideline.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he signaled Whiteford, and I think they're going, what? But it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you see Whiteford coach out there on the field complaining about that last play.
I was just, where they threw the penalty flag, I assumed it was just on Lucas. But it will go against the Bobcats and head coach Todd Theiken.
Yeah, and I got to believe that he's thinking he doesn't want any of his players getting hurt out here. Or, you know, like we said, getting kicked out of the game. I'm not sure, you know, what their playoff picture looks like. But you got to think that, you know, you got to keep these kids safe out here. You don't want kids getting hurt on those unsportsmanlike type of plays.
And we're going to discuss it a little bit more here.
Why not?
Why not?
Such nice weather. There's no reason not to.
No.
Game's been too quick anyways. That official's awful emphatic. And now he's talking to the other official.
Well, Whiteford's lining up as if they're just going to start playing here. They've grown tired of waiting around. It will be a 3rd and 20 when we do resume play.
And the clock is running. A handful of seconds just ran off of the clock there.
Yeah, it did start running again. And it is 2nd down, not 3rd down. Clock will now run again on the official signal. And we're back.
Yeah, and I think that's what the discussion was about the down, Andy.
We've had that a lot tonight. Like, I can never recall a game where there was this much confusion between what down it was. Bobcats are going to try it through the air, and he's got his man wide open, and it's a little bit overthrown. And
Pass is incomplete.
we have got another penalty flag.
Down.
It's going to be holding against Lucas.
If you're Coach Sweat, you really got to get a hold of your guys here. You got to get in their ears. You got to let them know that this is not the way you want to end this game.
So it will be second down still with the penalty. We'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 14. Let's see if we can have a play without a penalty. I feel like the last 3 or 4 we've seen the laundry on the field. Here's a throw into coverage, and it's almost intercepted.
Was that Bobby? It was. Bobby Grover out there almost had himself a pick.
Yeah, you take a look at this replay. Not only would he had a pick, he might have had a pick 6. Honestly, there was a lot of green in front of him.
Third down, Whiteford.
We've really seen the speed
15-yard line.
come into play. Be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, we heard earlier before the game they were doing the senior night festivities, and Bobby Grover's been playing the game of football for 10 years. You believe that?
I can. Here's a nice tackle here to bring up a 4th down.
Really interesting play here. Watch this wraparound handoff.
Arnold.
Talk about some creativity.
Yeah.
Well sniffed out, though. Lucas defense holding their own here.
And we have all sorts of movement. My goodness. Center got knocked over. Yeah, Lucas jumped on this.
Encroachment on the Cubs.
Take a look here. Kind of a play that just sort of sums up the night, right? Just
a little bit. And Andy, we keep talking about taste of your own medicine. Lucas came out on their first drive and they did that hard count and they almost got Whiteford to jump.
Yeah.
See Whiteford giving it back to him here.
So 4th and 7. And timeout.
Timeout, Whiteford. Lucas Athletic Department would like to take a moment to thank the many people.
So after all sorts of
special thank you goes out to Nicole.
Quick movement in that first half, that first quarter flew by, the second quarter flew by. We have hit just a snail's pace here. I feel like the last 30 minutes have been this 4th quarter, and we still have 8:18 to go.
Matt Smullen, Mark Mayer, Tom Smullen, and Dan Tucker. Manning the scoreboard and clocks tonight are Greg Cockerty and Courtney Church.
22-0. Whiteford facing a 4th and 7 on the 11. Still pick up a 1st down.
We also thank the officers and volunteers of the Athletic Boosters for manning the concession stand every game night.
I haven't
and for
seen
the
a
tremendous support they
field
provide
goal
to our
formation
students
out of them
to get
at all
involved.
tonight.
Please
So
see
yeah,
the Booster
gotta
officers,
think they'd be going.
Amanda Francis, Michelle Giegold, Kate McGugan, Sarah Brown, and Kelly Sweat. And keeping the game stats on the sideline for yet another season.
Yeah, we've only seen kicks on the kickoffs, and that's been it. They don't even have anyone listed on the roster at that position. They'll try it through the air again. And incomplete. Turnover on down, so the Cubs defense playing tough here.
Pass intended for Mason DeBar.
Which is what you'd expect from a Cubs team.
Tim Daly.
You know, it hasn't been their night, but they're not going to let you score on them still.
Yeah, that's a good response there by Lucas. We talked about it just, seems like an eternity ago, but in game time it was just a couple minutes. You know, they were backed up against their own end zone, and they defended it well.
So the Cubs now trying to just get something to go their way, and they'll take a shot downfield, and it's, oh my goodness, almost a big play, which would have been exactly what they were looking for.
Pass intended for Tim Daly is incomplete.
Tim Daly not happy about that one, and I understand his frustration. That he made a good move, made a good play on the ball, and just couldn't come up with it. Good ball here by Bobby Grover, though.
Yeah, I mean, he had it, just couldn't come down with it.
Andy, we talked about it a couple
Second
weeks
down,
ago.
10 for the Cubs.
Bobby Grover, he does have an arm,
yeah,
but they haven't really let him loose this year.
They'll probably let him loose here late in this one, and ooh, big hit. Just fortunate to hold on to the ball there.
Bobby Grover brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Nolan Walker.
Take a look at this. Nolan Walker, the junior, gets in there and just, whew.
Ouchtown population Bobby Grover.
Yeah, that hurt up here. Makes it 3rd and 16. 7:30 to go. And they'll go back to the ground and just nothing doing.
I don't like the body language I'm seeing out of Lucas's offense right now. I know they're frustrated, but I mean, you got to kind of shore up that mentality and play with some pride, play with some honor.
Yeah, they just have not been able to do anything against this defense tonight.
Punt formation for the Cubs.
Penalties really hurt them early. This punt takes another Cubs bounce, but a nice move here. And multiple penalty flags come flying in. No surprise here.
Drew Ruddy on the return for Whiteford. Penalty flags down.
Yeah, you're right. There are, what, 3 of them?
Yeah, they all kind of came out simultaneously. Sort of back by where the punt happened. So we have offsetting. They had offsetting holding penalties, but then there was a personal foul as well.
Penalties were holding on both teams, which offset personal foul on Whiteford.
Whiteford called for a personal foul. Man, this has just been ugly. There's no other way to phrase this one. I think we got to halftime before 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I think it was just before 8 o'clock. And
it's 9:15 right now, and we still have 6:42 to go. This personal foul will back the Bobcats up a little bit.
Other scores from around the area.
Maybe almost fortuitous, though, for Whiteford. Maybe that gives them enough space to run the clock out.
Yeah.
Serious playoff implications. Monroeville 28, Norwalk St. Paul 21.
Big scoring update
yeah.
right there.
9,
Monroeville 28, Norwalk
6.
St. Paul 21.
Fourth quarter, Shelby 33, Marion Pleasant 14.
Shelby up 33-14.
South Central 29, Plymouth 14. Fourth quarter, Ashland 23, Lexington 21.
Woo! Ashland up 23-21 at Lexington, if you didn't hear that come through. What a game that has turned out to be. You love a good rivalry in Week 10.
Oh, absolutely.
Trenton Eitner on the
Eitner
carry.
gets close to the first down. I think he's just about a yard short. Gonna be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, and this game also kind of playing like a rivalry game a little bit. It's getting chippy. There's a lot of
Yeah.
back and forth. Maybe the score doesn't
Third
reflect
quarter,
it, but
Danville 14,
there's
East
been a
Knights 0.
lot of battles out there tonight.
This is the first meeting between these two, which probably doesn't come as a surprise with them being so far geographically and not even in the same state.
I'd like to see more of these matchups. You know, these are two teams that are, like we talked about, very similar. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun football.
Well, it's going to be interesting too because they,
Brought down by Dan Hawkins-Smith.
I believe, are joining the Toledo Area Athletic Conference, so they're going to be playing more teams in Ohio. They're just a little bit over into the Michigan border.
Now, who else would be in that conference?
So it's changed a lot, but like Eden is in it. The Bombers, who actually they played this year, Eden had their way with them. Eden's undefeated this year and won that game. I believe it was 50-20 or something like that. But I think they're still in it. Here's a big run to the outside by Eitner, still going. 20-15, brought down just outside the 10.
Trenton Eitner, the ball carrier. Carter Cox on the stop for the Cubs.
You see Eitner just redirect which way he was going there, gets to the outside. And
Yeah, and Cox does a good job of fighting through that really good stiff arm by Eitner and still bringing him down.
But yeah, then Northwood, which was my alma mater, used to be in the TAC, but they're moving into the Sandusky Bay Conference.
Really?
Yeah, into, I believe, the River Division.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's just a mega conference with all the divisions that it has and teams involved. Ottawa Hills is in there. They've turned their football program around. They were traditionally like basketball and baseball. But yeah, it's changed a lot since I've graduated.
Gain of about a yard on that last
Which is
play.
kind of the
Second
theme,
down.
I feel like, everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Whiteford's having to deal with it. The conference that they were in is just
From the
dissolving. And
13-yard line.
Well, and, you know, I hail from Northmore. Back in the day, Northmore was MOAC.
yeah,
And now they're in the KMAC, which is a great conference. MOAC, a good conference as well.
yeah, it's been
Trenton Eitner.
It's been interesting looking around the conferences this year, and yeah, you mentioned like the KMAC and the MOAC having great years. Outside of Monroeville and St. Paul has picked it up here late in the second half, but the Firelands has struggled. The OCC is really down this year. But you're seeing Ashland have a great season.
Yeah.
You're seeing Lexington find it here late. And then the N10 too has been a interesting this year too with Carey starting off slow and figuring it out. Colonel Crawford had some big wins and then some big losses.
Yeah.
Mohawk the same way.
Yeah, the N10 is one of those conferences where I feel like a lot of those schools have a lot of grade turnover, and you have, a lot of the schools have some classes that are, maybe a big senior class and then not much in a couple classes behind it, or maybe just not great, athletically or whatever the reason is. And you have the surges and recession, and it can be tough to string a lot of success together year over year.
We got a timeout here by Whiteford. 2:58 to go. They've got one timeout remaining as they face a 4th and 2 here. Make sure that they're all on the same page here as they will improve to 5-4. Only played 9 games this year. I think it's because of being an independent and just sometimes you can't find teams to play. I wasn't sure if Michigan's regular season continued another week into the postseason, but I believe this is the last game on their schedule, so just 9 games. They started a week later, which makes me think they couldn't find somebody for week 1. But yeah, they will go to 5-4. Lucas will drop to 500 at 5-5, but they should still get in.
Yeah, and here's the thing, especially with an offense like Lucas runs, anything can happen in the playoffs.
Yep. Coming into tonight, according to Joe Idle, Lucas was a 12 seed, top 16 make it. With a win, they would have jumped anywhere between 6 and 15. Now, with a loss, they are anywhere between 11 and out. So you're going to have to start hoping teams underneath you end up losing tonight. They're going to try and get this through the air, and it's going to be intercepted. And there's some room on the other way.
That's Bobby Grover.
Grover takes it all the way back to the 30. So the Cubs get the interception here, keeping them out of the end zone.
Brought down near the 33-yard line.
And a nice return.
Cubs.
So the Cubs still with some life. Or at least playing with some pride here late.
Yeah, and that's really all you can do. In these games where everything's over but the crying, as they say, you just got to come out. You got to make sure you keep your head on straight. And if you do get into the playoffs, you don't want to do anything tonight that would jeopardize, your participation in that game.
See that multiple handoff in the backfield kind of play that they've ran. Whiteford has seen it too. They were ready for it.
Anthony Finello on the carry.
Finello gets the carry. I believe that's the first carry for him here tonight.
Yeah, and we saw him a couple weeks ago. Had a pretty good game.
Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down, 8 for the Cubs.
Yeah, I think I still have my... Yeah, he had the 27-yard run the game against North Central.
Yeah. What a luxury to have so many backs that can do something like that.
Got some room to the outside, enough for a Cubs first down.
Brady Giegold on the carry.
Brady Giegold.
Forward progress takes him ahead for a first down.
Just getting through his first couple line of defenders. Gets the Cubs the first down, forward progress.
Seeing a few new numbers out there for Whiteford. Kind of wonder if maybe they're not rotating some guys in and trying to get them some experience.
Just under a minute 40 to go here. We'll have our post-game show for you. We'll have an interview with someone from the Bobcat faithful. Thinking it's going to be number 33, Mr. Eitner.
Across midfield.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a game.
Yeah, his big run in the for the first touchdown turned out to be the game-winning touchdown as a penalty flag comes in. We might have I don't know what we're going to have here actually.
I saw somebody hit the ground pretty heavy. Looks like it's going to go against Lucas. Maybe probably a holding, I'm guessing.
Let's see if we see anything here on the replay.
Yeah,
definitely going to be
a holding.
Yep.
Looks like they got number 75 out there on it. Probably not even a necessary hold.
Yeah.
Boy, talking about playoffs, if Lucas does get in, even with this loss tonight, I got to think anybody that sees Lucas across the line.
And here's the chance to find the end zone tonight. No penalties down. Touchdown Cubs. Who else but Dan Hawkins-Smith would find the end zone?
Andy, I don't care who says that football is not romantic. They're wrong. Dan Hawkins-Smith on senior night getting probably what will be the only score for the Lucas Cubs in week 10, and that's got to feel good. It's got to be a little bittersweet. You know it feels good for them.
Yeah, you never want to get shut out to end it, your regular season anyway. So the Cubs get into the end zone with 44 seconds to go.
Yeah, and Andy, just to finish up what I was getting at a minute ago before Dan ripped off that big run.
The nerve of him.
I'll have to talk to him about that after the game. Yeah, you know, if you're a team, high-seeded team, I think Lucas is the type of team that you're going to dread seeing across the field and getting matched up with because of their offense.
Absolutely. That's one of the worst draws you could get for a first-round playoff game.
Conversion is no good.
I mean, some of these teams that get in at the lower seeds might only have, like, you know, one win of note or something, and then they kind of ride that to get in, but they don't really have like a formula to beat you, but Lucas does, and yeah, they will be a tough draw for whoever they get. And obviously Whiteford, if they make the postseason too, I mean, state runner-up last year, they've won the state championship twice in the last decade, so these are two really, really good teams. But Whiteford will come out of here with the win. But what a answer, though. I know it's not going to result in them coming back and winning, but you get the turnover in the end zone. You didn't let them score and just have their way and get you to a potential running clock if the two-point conversion had been good. You find a way to get a turnover, and then you come down here, get a big run out of Hawkins-Smith, the senior, on senior night. And you feel a little bit better about everything, finding the end zone there.
Yeah, you know, getting shut out, like you said, Andy, nobody likes to get shut out, especially in week 10. That's not how you want to end a season. And, you know, sometimes those shutouts can be psychologically jarring to you and maybe have implications moving into the first round of the playoffs if they should make it.
Onside kick attempt, gets the hop, and I think it rolled out of bounds, but they had the right kind of kick to get that.
Yeah, pretty well executed. Just kind of bounced off a couple guys and squirted out of bounds there.
Take a look at this replay. Yeah, it got the right hop. Kind of, it got past the initial returner.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That's what you look for, is that hop. You want it on the second or third contact with the ground, get it to pop up in the air, at least to head level, and it was well executed.
We'll see. This looks to be victory formation here. Maybe not. Yep, it will be. They're just gonna... Oh, and that is just not what you want to see there. And I can't believe they didn't throw a flag.
Yeah, that's...
There's
Jack
just...
Ware's on the stop for the Cubs.
I don't like seeing that.
There's just no need. I mean, and it's just crazy, too, with all the penalties we've had tonight, that didn't get called.
Yeah, and honestly, Andy, we've seen that a couple times this year out of Zach Winters. He plays with a lot of fire. He plays with a lot of heart, and you know that a loss like this is going to hurt bad, but again, like we keep saying, you got to finish the game with pride.
They will have to snap it one more time here, and they will.
But I will say, if you're Whiteford, you cannot let your player get hurt on a run back kneel down like that.
True. So that'll do it here for the game, 22-6. Stick around for our post-game show. We'll have an interview and final thoughts and analysis here for you coming up on the other side of the break.
You'll find out sometime later this weekend. Drive careful on your way home.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
Pregame. Trent Neitner from Whiteford Bobcats. Congratulations on the win tonight here. You had the big touchdown run early on. What was going through your head there, breaking through for that big run?
Just run as fast as I can. They caught, got a gun.
What is it like making the trip here to play a game like this? Like, what was the journey like to get down here?
We worked our butts off there in practice all week. We were not surprised that it was another long trip. We're getting used to it now. It's kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah, you guys have traveled over like 600 miles or something crazy this year. How grueling is that for you guys, or do you guys look forward to like the long trips, and does that sort of bring everybody together a little bit more?
The bus rides are the best part. We're all together, we got music playing, we're getting hyped up, we're ready to play.
And I imagine the bus ride after a game like tonight is probably going to be a little fun on the way back home too.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys are in the playoffs? Does this win put you guys in the playoffs now with how the Michigan playoff seeding works? So obviously state runner-up last year, unfinished business this year. What's kind of the vibes going into the postseason?
We just got to work our butts off. We can't let up now. We made it too far, worked too hard. We got to keep going, keep pushing.
All right, well, Trenton, thank you so much for the time. Safe travels back home, and best of luck in the postseason.
Thank you.
Welcome back into our 89 Homes post-game show, where the Lucas Cubs come up short tonight in the border battle with Whiteford out of Michigan, 22-6. Andy Jardy alongside Jeremy Peoples, and taste of their own medicine tonight, honestly, is what Lucas ran into. This was a very tough, very focused, just talking to Trent Neitner there. They are itching to get back into the postseason and get back to, finishing the job this year.
Yeah. Not the result Lucas wanted tonight on senior night, I know, but they just got to leave the stadium tonight, keep their fingers crossed, hope that maybe they get a little bit of help from a couple other teams and get into the playoffs. And like we said, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And Whiteford, Trenton tells me they're making the playoffs, so that confirms that. Lucas is still going to wait to see what their fate is. They should get in. They could potentially fall short. A loss tonight, Joe White had them anywhere from an 11 to an out, but they were coming in tonight 12. They would have to really, really have some things go against them, I feel like, for them to come up short into making the postseason. But yeah, whoever they draw, that is not a fun first draw for whoever gets Lucas.
No, and Lucas is known for bouncing back really well after a loss. And again, like you said, anything can happen in the playoffs, and you see Lucas across the field from you. You know what you're going to get with that offense, but it's still tough to defend. And if you're Lucas, like I said, keep your fingers crossed. And hey, you get into the playoffs next week, it can be a Cinderella story. You never know.
You never know. You just got to get in, and then anything can happen. So that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much. As you see the training that I got earlier today, I'm not quite sure why the replay decided to take that. Let's just go ahead and, we'll let it roll. We're just going to go with it.
We'll behind the scenes.
Yeah, below behind the scenes of me trying to figure out how to get the program up and running. We got better as the game went on. Things started to work the way that they were supposed to. Hopefully you'll see some replays from the actual game itself. But thank you so much to our sponsors here tonight. This has been a fun game. Lucas coming up short, but For Jeremy Peoples, I'm Andy Jardy. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Have a great rest of your Friday night and weekend, and we'll see you all again here tonight on the Friday Night Pigskin.